It's Friday the 2nd of September and welcome to our weekly news bulletin from the Christian Institute. First, the Scottish Government has launched a public consultation on whether to change the definition of marriage to allow for same-sex marriage. In a separate question, the Scottish Government is also asking the public whether religious ceremonies should be allowed for homosexual civil partnerships. The consultation document says the Scottish Government's initial view is that it supports redefining marriage for homosexuals, but the Christian Institute's Mike Judge says the move has radical implications.
All the rights of marriage are already available through homosexual civil partnerships, and last year in Scotland just under 500 were entered into. So this is not about rights, this is about redefining marriage for the whole of society, with all of the implications for what will be taught in our schools at the behest of quite a small minority of activists.
If the law is changed in Scotland, there will be pressure to redefine marriage throughout the whole of the UK. The Scottish consultation is expected to run until December. And staying in Scotland, football clubs Rangers and Celtic have expressed concern about the Scottish Government's proposed sectarianism bill, adding to the controversy over the legislation. The bill is a response to incidents of sectarian hatred that flared up during last season. Rangers say that enforcing existing legislation would be more effective than introducing a new law, and Celtic have released a statement saying, "The potential for confusion in the absence of clear and consistent guidelines is limitless and runs the risk of the law becoming unenforceable or being brought into disrepute." A number of other organisations have also expressed reservations, saying the bill may inadvertently interfere with civil liberty and free speech. Hundreds of viewers have complained to the BBC about explicit homosexual sex on the popular sci-fi show Torchwood. More than 500 viewers complained to the broadcaster about scenes in last week's episode, branding them pointless and irrelevant. Viewers also expressed their opinions online. One viewer said, "This show is meant to be a sci-fi show. I had to turn it off as my grandson, an avid sci-fi fan, was in the room." And on ITV, 3 homosexual Coronation Street characters are set to be part of a lesbian love triangle in a storyline that will reach a climax at Christmas with a civil partnership proposal. It underlines concerns that the TV soap is being used as a platform to push homosexual issues, but producer Phil Collinson recently denied using the show as a gay soapbox, despite earlier comments suggesting otherwise. Government Health Advisor Martin Green says assisted suicide should be legalised even though there may be a risk of abuse. Mr Green, who has advised ministers on a number of dementia policies, conceded it would be impossible to completely rule out the danger of abuse if the law was changed. But Dr Peter Saunders of the Care Not Killing Alliance warned that Parliament had repeatedly rejected attempts to change the law, saying, even with so-called safeguards, to allow people to choose to have help to kill themselves would be open to exploitation and abuse. The 10th anniversary memorial service of New York's 9/11 tragedy this year will not include clergy and prayers, it has been revealed. The ban has caused upset because church leaders played a vital role in the aftermath of the tragedy. Former Deputy Mayor of New York, Rudy Washington, who was serving in office at the time of the 9/11 attacks, expressed outrage at the exclusion. Mr Washington said, "This is America, and to have a memorial service where there's no prayer, this appears to be insanity to me. I feel like America has lost its way." The disturbing trend of pregnancy reduction, where one baby in a twin pregnancy is terminated, has been highlighted by a cover story in the New York Times magazine. Pregnancy reduction was first proposed as a means of cutting multiple births arising from IVF, but the demand to reduce twins to a single baby has grown steadily in more recent years, fueled by reluctance to accept multiple children. Dr Ronald Wapner, one of the pioneers of pregnancy reduction in the 1990s and now the Director of Reproductive Genetics at Columbia University Medical Center, said, "There's no medical justification in a normal twin pregnancy to reduce to one." Well, that's all this week. For more information and regular updates on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. Until next time, goodbye.